Hey resource folks, I'm Congressman Mark Amodei from Nevada's original Congressional District. I live in Carson City, Nevada. I work throughout the Silver State and here in Washington, D.C. It's nice to be with you to talk about some resource issues. It seems like the culture of cliche is in full bloom these days regarding federal lands transfer bills. Some people think it's absolute evil, some people think it's a good idea in small bites, and some people think that it ought to be in a big scale. It's difficult to focus on the issues when cliches are being used right and left, when focusing actually on the facts of each given case are helpful in determining what we should do. While it's a Western phenomenon that most states have large amounts of federal land, the state that I represent actually has 4 out of 5 acres that are in federal land ownership. So while that's the highest percentage of any state out of the 50, not one size fits all when we talk around. But since we do have such a high percentage in Nevada, it's illustrative in terms of some of our history in terms of federal land bills. On the one hand, one of the most successful federal lands bills, the Southern Nevada Public Lands Management Act, took place in Nevada, started about 20 years ago. It took federal land surrounding Las Vegas, Nevada, and sold it directly via public auction to private developers. The proceeds were then used for various conservation projects throughout the state and, in fact, the nation. It took care of issues that dealt with endangered species, desert tortoise habitat, and as a practical matter, Republicans and Democrats worked on it. Senators at the time, United States Senator Harry Reid, John Ensign, roundly seen as an absolute success in terms of federal lands transfer bills. And so, why wouldn't you think if it was something that did something good like that, tens of thousands of acres added to property tax rolls, went ultimately for education, the city of Las Vegas, the city of Henderson, the city of North Las Vegas, the county commission of Clark County all got to decide what their futures were in land use management. Seems like a win-win-win for everybody. But we have a new movement here where people are saying no land should be transferred in the West or elsewhere that is not transferred to another public entity, directly in contravention to this great experience that I've just described. Now, while everything needs to be thought out, and nobody's in favor of degrading the environment or letting the grazing industry, the mining industry, the energy industry do things that are bad for the environment, still the fact that nobody even wants to hear in some of these organizations what the potential benefits and gains could be for various things is a little bit discouraging. However, make no mistake about it, in our state, we have had a record over the last almost half century where governors have done a good job, state agencies have done a good job, those divisions of environmental protection, those state fish and game commission folks, stuff like that. So it's not like states shouldn't have a bigger say in what goes on with lands in their particular jurisdiction. They've done a good job. Governors, Democrat and Republican, have produced sound results for the environment. So, as long as we're here and we're talking about these issues, I think it's one that we should continue to talk about because the success of state folks, state agencies, state legislatures, county commissions, they ought to have a bigger say in what multiple use really is. And at times, folks, quite frankly, the federal government hasn't paid a lot of attention to them. Thank you for giving me a couple of minutes of your time. We'll look forward to working with you on this issue in the future. I'm Mark Amodei, and take care.